I'm just gonna keep this is gonna be me the whole night, just like
I'm gonna do a compilation when I edit just of all the different angles that your hair is at. Welcome back to the Caffeinated Comic Club. I am one half of your hosting duo, Gare. Hi, Marsh. How are you today?
I am good. How are you, Gare?
I'm also good. I drink a Diet Coke and I feel really good. What are you
Uh,
sipping today?
I left my water downstairs. I have my usual Pepsi Zero.
Two different flavors of Pepsi Zero. You're committing to the sponsorship. You're
The
committing.
Pepsi Zero is the best, okay? Mm, it's good. Chris even likes it now, okay? So, like, we're slowly getting there.
Not you Stockholm syndroming him with Pepsi Zero. That's crazy.
Well,
That
he
is
does
w
he can't drink aspartame, so Pepsi Zero doesn't have it.
So last week was our first week back after Pride Month with just the two of us, and we had like a 2-hour conversation about Fables Volume 1. We will not be diving into that today, but know that we both really enjoyed it. Do
We truly
you
did.
wanna
We
say your
truly
general
did.
thoughts on it?
If you like a good whodunit, if you like fables like Snow White and stuff and seeing them in a different light, kind of like maybe even like a trashier but like more badass light, I would check this out. Prince Charming is a douche though. Just know that for future reference.
If you ever looked at the big bad wolf and thought, "He could be sexier," they do it here. He is so sexy. Also, to piggyback off the good who done it, this book has a reveal scene at the end that is like top of a writer's game, incredible parlor scene reveal. It is absolutely worth it. On the pod last week, we did not talk about the outcome of the murder mystery. We usually spoil everything. Last week we decided to let y'all do it. So know that it is a great, great reveal and all the pieces are there, but it's done in a way that you would never know. So absolutely check it out. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, I think. Did you give it a 4.5?
I think I gave it a 4.5. It wasn't perfect, but it was still really, really good.
Mhm. It is up there. Yeah, I have not continued on with Fables yet. I plan on doing that soon. I just haven't read anything but the books for the pod. That's a lie. I did read today. I like made myself read more of 90s X-Men and read
Hmm.
like 10 issues at work and was like, "Whoa, who am I?" And it's all because of that Diet Coke and the B12 that I took today as well. I had a burst of energy. 90s X-Men is so freaking good. I think I'm gonna make a reading guide for it, like an in-depth reading guide for TikTok and Instagram
You should.
because it's just been a blast, and not everybody can afford that big ass blue and gold book that only has 14 issues in it. So,
Does it really? I was looking
well,
at buying
14
it.
of Adjectiveless and 14 of
Oh,
Uncanny,
oh,
and
oh, oh,
then there's like
oh.
some X-Force, but they're gonna be making those omnibuses for years. I did not mean to say omnibuses the first time. And so then I had to commit to the second omnibusy and now the fourth.
Oh my god.
But yeah, they're gonna be making those for a long time, blue and gold, because yeah, again, there's like only 14 of each in that first one.
That's crazy. That's not even a lot, and I get it, they have other stuff in there, right? It's kinda like I have the Phoenix
So
omnibuses,
jealous.
since we're saying that word now, apparently. It, like, skips around, obviously, so when Phoenix is actually in the comic and whatnot. I don't even know what's in it, to be honest, but yeah, it sounds kinda like that, where it's just, like, an event.
So, yeah, essentially, because it's like you read adjective list and then you jump to uncanny, and then surprise, there's an X Factor in there randomly. I will say though, if you do get it, the X Factor Omni that I got you for your birthday is like you can read it with it. Like you can add that in because they are all
Oh, okay.
at the same time and they all
Mhm.
tell one big story. Blue and gold just tells a fraction of the big story and only, like it's only the important stuff for the X-Men teams in general. But
Gotcha,
every now
gotcha.
and then they'll pop somebody else in.
Gotcha, gotcha. I've also only been reading older stuff. Is 90s older stuff? I don't know if that's older stuff. That's not older stuff, right? No. No, no, no. No,
No,
no.
it's a fresh, it's not even 21 yet.
I'm still 20, what?
You know? I've been
No,
20 for 16 years.
right. No, I've been reading 70s Fantastic Four, I think. Maybe early 80s
Mhm.
Fantastic Four. I realized that in my John Byrne reading that I had skipped, like, 10 issues because I didn't own that specific, like, volume that I was reading. I was like, "I guess I should read that." And so now I'm back reading it, and basically Terrarax comes back, and you're just like, "Yep, I don't know who that is. Perfect, it's fine." He comes, and he is one of the heralds of Galactus, and he basically wants to take revenge on Galactus, so he, like, takes Manhattan into space and takes the Fantastic Four with him, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to kill Galactus, or I'm gonna hurtle Manhattan into the sun." Yeah.
That is gaggy, and John Byrne did that.
Yep. Yep.
John Byrne he's a wild and crazy guy. That seems fun. So you've been enjoying it then? How
I
far are you
have
into those 10 issues?
2 or 3. So I really haven't read that much if we're really, like, getting down into oh, no, 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 I read New X-Men. I finished New X-Men this week too. How did I forget
You
about that?
did.
Forgot about that.
You did. You flew through New X-Men.
I did.
Every now and then you'll make a comment about how, like, you feel like you're a slow reader, but at the rate that you were reading New X-Men, I'm like, "That was 45 issues in, like, a week." Like, you flew through that.
I bank it. I bank it, right? Like, I don't read for a long time, and then I'll fly through 45 issues, and then not read for a long time, and fly through
Mhm.
45 issues. No, it was really good. I flew through the 1st volume, I flew through the 2nd volume, parts of the 3rd volume, and then, like, the ending just didn't I didn't stick with the ending.
Mhm.
Wasn't a fan of the
Mhm.
future. Wasn't a
Yeah,
fan.
agreed, agreed. How did you feel about Jean finally really truly dying?
It's gonna have interesting after effects, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I didn't have an emotion like, I wasn't emotional about it. Uh,
Same, same.
just also because I know that I because I am now it's now 2026, I know that she comes back, so
Mhm.
but even that though, like, even if I know a character's coming back, sometimes it does hit harder, but that just it was fine. I really liked the scene between her and Logan right before the future where they were, like, together and, like, accepting that they were going to die, essentially.
Mm.
I really liked that. And then I read the last 2 issues of New X-Men, the ones that weren't written by Grant Morrison. Those were wild and not
Yeah.
great. They were not great.
Yeah. I go back and forth, on that run. I love that run simply like, mostly because it's so strong and it did change so much, but when it's weak, oh, it's
It's weak.
weak. Oh, it is
Mhm.
weak. I was not emotional about Jean dying at all. I felt like it was written in a very lackadaisical way, and I love Jean. I'm a huge Jean fan, but also at the same time, she's died so many times. She actually died in an issue that I read today,
Oh,
and or almost died, and she literally said, she was like, "Thank God you saved me, Professor X, because if I'd have died again, I would just be a walking cliche." And, like, she looks directly at the audience from the panel, and I was like, "Look at you, Jim Lee. That was funny as fuck. That was funny as fuck." But yeah, the ramifications of what happens to Jean, like, her death reverberates for a long time. I mean, she was dead for 10 to 15 years. I can't remember the exact, but it's between 10 and 15 years of publication.
a
Like,
long
after
time.
that, they didn't bring her ass back till, like, 2017, 2018. I think was when Phoenix Rebirth was.
Wasn't she in well, I guess it wasn't her. It was, like, past her, future
Oh,
her?
yes, time displaced Jean Grey from All New
Yes,
X-Men
that
that
one.
outs Bubby. Yeah.
Yes, that one.
She's like, "Bubby, you're gay." I'm messy. That's the worst Jean. I will say reading that is a trip because when they land in the future, just to spoil it, in the very first issue when they land in the future, they give her the memories of everything that happened to adult Jean. And so she becomes the brattiest dance mom child that you've ever seen. Like, just terrible. And I mean, I love her still, and she has a fuck ass bob.
Fuck
She
yeah.
does.
Oh my goodness.
I'm glad that you read it though, especially, like, after, you read Extreme X-Men that one time by yourself
By
because, like, now you
myself.
have more context. I didn't read it. I wasn't here for that.
You watch
Um,
videos? That's I get it. Get it. I would watch the video
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah, I want a whole YouTube breakdown, basically, by these 2 fools who thought they were gonna have fun when they read it. Do you have any comic book news for the week? Because I don't.
I do not. I've been
Dead
so
ass.
far
What's happening
removed.
in the comic world? Same.
I don't know. I don't know.
I have like 75 plus DMs on TikTok that I just have not opened. Like, I open TikToks from you, but it's like that I've been so, like, detached from my phone the
That's
last
fair.
couple of weeks, and they've just piled up. And also, like, I haven't been on, like, my websites. The news I get is on Instagram, and it's only X-Men stuff because the algorithm is perfectly tailored to me. So I just see, like,
Fair.
X-Men 97 and covers, and I'm like, "Oh," like Russell Dodderman did a cover of Gambit Gone. I sent it to you on Instagram this morning. I know that you'll see it when you open Instagram in, like, 3 months,
That's
but
true.
know that you will love that cover. I was like,
And
"Marsh is buying that,"
I'll respond 3 months later.
as if I had sent it that day, and I love that. Yeah, I sent you that, and I sent you something else today. Oh, I sent you James Tynion posted a thirst trap today.
Here,
and
I'll just look.
also a picture of his boyfriend.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I was like,
okay,
"Okay, James." I was so happy. He's dating a little
okay.
twink.
Hold on, we're gonna look right now. We're gonna look live. We're looking live at Gears. 4 messages that I missed.
The thirst trap though, I was kinda gagged because I was like, "Oh, you are hot, sir." Love to know that a writer is hot.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
And then the
okay,
boyfriend is, like, the first picture in the stack.
okay, okay, okay.
And
And
I
wait,
know it's the boyfriend because I clicked his page and I went and looked and their relationship started in 2024.
I love that. I love that. Oh, they're so cute.
They are
Oh, oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to get that. Bam,
Yeah, isn't it
bam,
gorge?
bam. Focus.
It's the Apocalypse version of him and the 616 version, and then also with the Rogues. I love it.
I love that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to find when we're done recording. I'm gonna go on my website and pre-order that bad boy.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
I I was like, "Oh, I bet it's a 1 in 25. I bet there's gonna be a virgin," and I have to have the virgin of it because it is beautiful,
That's fair.
beautiful. So no comic book news other than James Tynion has a boyfriend. Happy for you, James. What are you pulling this week? I'm excited to talk about
Uh,
Pull List.
let's see. Absolute Green Arrow number 3, Captain America number 13, which don't ask me what's going on. I have no fucking idea. I don't. I think I'm on issue 8. So
He's in hell, right? Isn't he in
that's
hell
that's
with
what you
Doctor
told.
Doom now?
That's what you told me. Like Doom killed him or something. A dork number 6, which is super super fun. I am absolutely loving that. End of Life number 6. Fantastic Four number 14.
Mhm.
Don't ask me if
Your
I've read
favorite book?
13 because I haven't.
We looked
It's
at the art last week, and it was
oh
y'all weren't here for that. It was really bad. You said you threw it away?
I might have thrown it away when I
Oh.
found it. Like what is this? Why does Wizard look like that? You couldn't even tell me who those people are. You see that? Look at that. Look, what is
I
this?
saw it, yeah.
What is
I
that
wish I
fuck
could
ass
tell
shit?
you.
Anyway,
I really
all right.
wish at this point, it feels like a very long in-depth prank on you,
It's like a meme. Like it has to be.
and a very expensive prank.
I'm so
I
Garrett.
say expensive, we know artists aren't paid well.
That's true. Okay. If my hair stays like this, it looks fine. All right. Sorry. Y'all, I'm gonna whatever. All right. I'm gonna crash out on the pod.
That was that was the most, like, sitcom moment that we've had on this pod. If my hair stays like this, fine. Immediately hair jumps. You look great.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 2. I'm gonna
You're
give
so
it
brave.
I'm gonna give it well, okay, listen, it's really only because I think this cover is hot. That's it. That's the only reason.
Damn it!
That's the
Why would you
only
show
reason
me that?
so you buy it. I'm getting 2 copies of Nightwing because the Dan Mora cover comes out this week, and Dick is looking great, looking great.
Mhm.
And then I'm getting X-Men 33 because there's 2 covers that I really like. What are you pulling, Gare?
I am pulling X-Men 33, Inglorious X-Force number 7, Bishop number 2, and then for DC, I am pulling Absolute Green Arrow number 3. Hey, and that's it. 4
I'm
books.
I'm so proud. I'm so glad for you
I
with
am
your
also
4 books.
proud and glad for me as well. That's why I was like, I'm so excited to talk about Pool List because I looked at it today and was like, oh my God, I'm going to spend 20 bucks this week. But now you've shown me covers. So
But
who
that's why
knows? If
but
they're on the
that's why you
wall,
cut, right? That's why you cut your books so you can buy covers. I'm just showing you the
that is
good
true. I
covers.
did say that. I did say that on this pod. I said I was going to cut my books so I could get,
Oh,
wow. Okay. Living fact checker right there. Period.
well, I
Period.
think I think you said it last week actually, so no one actually knows that you said it.
Said what? What did I say? I didn't
Exactly.
say that.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I said I wanted to tell you some news. I guess this is my
Oh,
comic news,
yes.
but it's not really news. It's a possibility. When Rivals came out, there was a graphic that was leaked that was like, these are the characters that they're working on for upcoming seasons. And at the time, people were like, no fucking way. None of this is real. Well, someone reposted it today on Twitter and like half of it actually every single picture that was on there has been the characters that have been released, and there is one on that image that made me be like, oh my God. And tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you know this person. An upcoming Marvel Rivals hero is Paste Pot Pete.
No, no way, right? Like
Yes.
like nobody knows who Paste Pot Pete is. If we're really like gonna like, I mean, I know who Paste Pot Pete is. I'm sure other people do. You apparently know who Paste Pot Pete is, but
Only because you've talked about Paste Pot Pete to me before. I saw the name and was like, oh,
oh,
memory. And it's literally is he a Fantastic Four villain? Refresh my mind.
I think he was one of the original members of the Frightful Four.
Yes, that's what it was. On our Mark Waid episodes, I was talking about the concept of the Frightful Four, and you listed off, and you said Pace Pop Pete, and I was like, "What the fuck? Who is that?" And I'm pretty sure during one of those episodes, you told me about his powers, which was kind of crazy. Actually, was he in the Wade run too?
He changed his name. Yes, yes, he changed his name.
Yeah.
He was the one that slept with what's her face, right? The dragon lady. Yes, yes, yeah. His name is
So yeah, I saw that.
he's called Trapster now.
Yes, the Trapster.
Yes.
I saw that today and was like, my god." And they've been talking about they wanna bring in obscure characters to the game. So, like, he's on
Mm,
there, and then there were a couple of other people that I was just like, "In what world?" But I felt that way about White Fox. Honestly,
that's
I was
fair.
like, "Why?" And then Luna Snow in the original lineup, I was like, "Nobody knows Luna Snow unless they played the apps, like the Marvel games, because she was created for Future Fight."
Like, I don't know who I didn't know who Luna Snow I still don't really know who Luna Snow is. She's just in the game, right? And she's a mutant,
Mhm.
yes, right? She's a mutant? Did I make that up?
I don't know if she is.
Oh,
I've only
okay.
read one of her comics, and it was
Alright.
really bad.
So, she may or may not be a mutant, but I don't know anything about White Fox. Don't know where she came from. Don't know what she's even in. Is she in Black Cat? I don't know. Where is Black
Um,
Cat? Did Black Cat come out? Wasn't Black Cat supposed to be a character?
yes, she's in the game. She's incredibly hard.
Where is she
I
in the
cannot
game?
play her.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she came out 2 or 3 seasons ago. I think she came out the season that we really stopped playing Rivals. I'm
Mm.
back though. I'm so back because of Jubilee. That is
Oh,
the most
yeah. I
fun I
haven't
have
played.
had playing. You must.
Is she what is she, a strategist?
Yeah, she's a strategist, but
Oh,
does
okay.
a whole lot of damage while healing.
Okay.
She has this giant, like, ball of fireworks that heals people, and it follows them around, but if a villain comes near, it starts following them and just attacking them.
Oh, that's
It's kind of
crazy.
amazing.
That's kinda cool.
Mhm.
That's kinda cool.
She is fun. She is a Horseman of Apocalypse in it, though, and also a vampire.
Okay.
There's a lot happening with Miss Jubes, a lot.
Alright. Sounds cool. Sounds cool. I tried to play Cyclops when he dropped. Couldn't, I just went back to characters I've played before.
I get that. That's what I did with Black Cat. I played her one game and I said, "No, she's not for me. This is not my play style." Jubilee is very much my play style, though, so I was happy because I felt the same way about Cyclops. I was
That's
like,
fair.
"Well, another boy I can't play."
Like, I like the idea of him, but, like, maybe I just need to play a little bit more, but we don't play it that often, Chris and I either.
Mm-mm.
We
Yeah.
honestly, you guys on Fortnite, that's all we freaking play.
I love that for you. I love that for you. I've played Marvel more this weekend than I have in months, and I will say that I only played for like an hour at a time, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I've played
Mm.
3 hours in the last 3 months,
It's about how much we played,
essentially.
probably. About how much
Yeah.
we played.
I did want the Emma Frost bikini skin, so I did grind for that a little bit
I
and
bought that.
finally got it. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
How could
Mhm.
you not, you know?
You
I'm working on
know,
Doctor Strange.
as an Emma, not Emma main, you know, who somehow it doesn't have her on, what is it? Rank 20? What is it? No, Lord. She's not lorded yet still, by the way. Ridiculous.
You're close though. You're
You
very
say
close
that
to
every
Lord.
time, though. I have no idea.
I feel like you were, like, level 16 or 17 the
I
last
might
time we
be.
played.
I might be. I don't know. I don't I
I wa
we just play a couple games and I get off.
Mhm. My friend one of my friends awarded Jubilee this weekend, and I was like, "Hey, take a bath. Love that for you. What's going on? How did you do that?"
That's so long. That's so many
He's really good
hours.
at games. Yeah,
Mm.
he's really, really good at games, but I was like, "Did you literally play the whole weekend? How did you do that?" I support him. He does not listen to the pod. Hayden, if you listen to the pod, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to take a bath. I did not mean for you to take a bath. That was a joke. I know you take baths.
Or showers.
Also showers, probably. All right. Well, do you want to dive into Manifest Destiny? Oh, by the way, guys, we read Manifest Destiny. Have not mentioned that yet. I'm glad you have the trade. I read it on Comixology Unlimited.
Oh, I have all of the trades.
Oh yeah, because you're a big fan of this, right?
We'll get into it.
That cover is so beautiful. All right, so this is a little brief summary that I stole from the internet. Here we go. Manifest Destiny reimagines the historic Lewis and Clark expedition as a secret mission into a supernatural wilderness filled with horrifying creatures. As Meriwether Lewis, William Clark, and the Corps of Discovery journey west in 1804, they quickly realize that the frontier is populated by grotesque monsters, strange plants, and impossible phenomena that the US government intends to keep hidden from the public. After surviving a brutal attack from monstrous buffalo like beasts and humans infected by a mysterious fungus, the expedition discovers that these creatures are part of a much larger ecosystem unlike anything they have ever encountered. As the group fights to survive, tensions rise between the soldiers, civilians, and expedition leaders as the true cost of their mission becomes clear. Lewis is driven by scientific curiosity, while Clark proves willing to make ruthless decisions to ensure the expedition continues. The volume blends historical adventure with body horror, survival, and dark fantasy, ending with the core pushing deeper into the unknown despite realizing that every mile west brings even greater terrors. This was 6 issues. Who was the creative team on this?
Chris Dingus is the writer, and Matthew Roberts, I believe, did the art.
Okay. Okay.
I think this is their only, like, comic that they've ever done, I think. Well,
Period.
at least Chris Dingus, at least.
And he's done it for, is it still ongoing right now? It's a
Mm,
very long run, right?
it's like 48 issues, I think, the whole thing. I think it ended in, like,
Okay.
2025 last year.
Okay. Okay, so it was a successful run then from Skybound, the imprint from Image.
Mhm.
I didn't know that. I haven't read very many Skybound books, I don't think. So what are your general thoughts? How do you feel about it overall?
I remember liking it a lot more when I first read it. It's not bad. I just remember liking it a lot more. I
Okay,
didn't
period.
like how people were portrayed in this, and obviously it's supposed to be of the time, and I think that was one of my biggest problems with it, was, like, how people were treated, but, like, that's how people would be treated in that time.
Yes.
So, like, and just, like, some of the people in it were kinda gross, and again, it's all part of the time, like, that's really what it is, and
Mhm.
I think when I first read it, I just, like, really liked the fact that Lewis and Clark were, like, doing, like, they're like Sam and Dean, kind of,
Yeah. Yeah.
essentially.
The
They
mo
kinda have a bromance. Did you pick up on that?
Okay.
Did you
Oh,
pick
I
up on that?
absolutely did,
Okay,
and I
okay.
absolutely Googled, "Is a Manifest Destiny comic book gay in any way?" And it was like, "No, but people like to think it is because of subtext." And I was like, "Fuck this." I hate a tease because it felt very gay in some moments, and there's, like, one specific panel that we will talk about later because I have it written down, that I
Mhm.
was like, "What is going on here?" It was the moment that made me Google that question. I liked it. There are things about it that I did not like. Some of the things that you touched on, it being of the times, I did write that down. I was like, I know that this is how people acted back then. Doesn't make it fun to read. You
Right.
know, it does not
Mhm.
add to the experience to me because, like, we all know how people were back then. But yeah, there were a few things plot wise as well that I was like, huh? About that, like, took the score down a little bit for me. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I did this week, instead of like questions, I wrote down a bunch of, like, a list of things that I liked and then a list of things that I didn't like,
Okay.
that I felt like will probably just hit anyway. The thing that I liked most about this book was the art. There are pages in this book that are some of the most intricate, beautiful designs I've ever seen. Like, for instance, earlier I mentioned that they're attacked by humans infected with this, like, mysterious fungus, also animals, and there's a scene in one of the later issues, either issue 4 or 5, where you see them see all of the infected animals for the first time. Like, they realize that they're about to be attacked by, like, a deer and a bear, and they're, like, overgrown with, like, flora and fauna, and it is absolutely, I mean, that is honestly kind of a masterpiece. It is so beautiful and so scary, and, like, yes, I am a horror nerd, especially in comics, and I just thought this was, like, magnificent. I thought it was magnificent. That's the thing I liked most about this book is the art. It was very consistent and very good throughout the whole thing.
That's actually one of the things that when I was reading it again, I was like, "I forgot how good the art is." I really did, and I just, like, not only, like, the animals and stuff, but just, like, how everyone looks different. Not everyone's face is
Mhm.
the same, not everyone's face shape is the same, everyone has their own unique features, which is really cool. I really
The
like the
face shape
way.
of it all is so
Mhm,
real. Like,
mhm,
because, like, Lewis is, like, long, kind of angular face versus Clark's, like, more manly, like, masculine features. Like, just by looking at them, you can tell that one's more into science than the other is, and, I thought I don't know what those men looked like in real life, but I thought that was a fabulous choice to draw them in the way that they were drawn.
I thought the art was really, really good and kind of different than kind of what you're getting right now. I just feel like,
Mhm.
and I don't know, I feel like all I do is rag on Ramos's art, but, like, it's not for me, and his faces all look the same. So
Mhm.
seeing something that was different was very nice.
There is a trend, like, that I've noticed in a lot of comics lately where a lot of the characters kind of give, like, a Disney Pixar kind of vibe or, like, an anime kind of vibe. Lots of, like, really small petite faces with, like, defined cheeks and big eyes and, like, perfect lips, and it's like, why does everyone like, why is Wolverine kinda cute? Like, that like, he should be hot in a gross way, not hot in a, "That's a cutie man" way. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
do.
honestly, like, the way that, like, quietly drew Logan is kind of how I see Logan in my head all the
Yeah, no.
time, just
Agreed.
kind of disgusting. He's
Agreed.
literally like an animal man. So but, like, I agree with you, like, in a lot of the stuff that we read weekly, everyone kinda looks the same. I think Dragotta is doing some of the best work in current comics right now. You still get that with certain characters, like the beautiful stuff, but it's like and I like, obviously, like, talking about Absolute Batman, everybody is reading it, but I think there's a reason why it's so popular, and it's because the writing and the art is just, like, heavy, high caliber stuff, and it's
Yeah.
different than a lot of stuff that everyone's picking up,
Yeah. No,
you know?
I agree. I do to stay in that same vein for a second, I do hope that the Marvel Midnight stuff is kinda like that, that it, like, kind of invents or reinvigorates Marvel to do something different and new and
Mhm.
stop canceling things after, like, 5 issues. That'd be really cool. Because honestly,
Agreed.
if I wasn't such a Marvel, person, I just I and it's because I like their old stuff, right? Like, some of their new stuff is fine, but, I kind of, love reading their old stuff, and so, I just kind of stay with Marvel, and I don't really
Mm.
tend to, wander into DC all that often, and I just need them to give me something that can, hold me over, I guess. I don't even know, I just need something else from them. I need some sort of spark that's not there.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Even the books I do enjoy, like and I, like, talk highly of, it's because they're the only ones right now that I feel even close to that with. I don't feel that, you know? I mean, I glaze Uncanny by Gail Simone all the time, but it is nowhere near the '80s, the '90s, the 2000s, and in, like, different X-Men times. It's just the closest thing for me right now.
Yeah.
I hope that Midnight X-Men does that. Hickman like, what Hickman did with Krakoa, that is what I felt, and that, like, there's a reason why for, like, a full year, X-Men all the X-Men titles were the number 1 selling books, like, the top books because Hickman's vision was so specific, and so I'm hoping that when Midnight X-Men, his vision is just as specific. I'm hoping that it does. The art for it and the art that we've seen for the other books has looked really cool. That makes me excited for it. Like, not even just like, the cover art, but, like, the panels, like, the portrait of, like, Magneto and his kids that's in one of the panels is cool as fuck. So, I'm really, really hopeful for that. I hate that we have to wait 3 months. Hate that we have to wait 3 months. Send it to us early, someone at Marvel. We need to start inviting, like, writers and artists onto the pod because maybe they'll be like, "Here, read this."
I wouldn't even
I think
know how
that's what
to,
happened with the
I
Morphin and
would
Chillin' pod.
I wouldn't even know how to, have a conversation if we, managed to get, Hickman or Benjamin Percy or, even Gail Simone. I have hands.
Yeah.
Hi. I got hands.
We would have to do
Mm.
like a virtual boot camp where we wrote down questions and, like, choreographed what the whole thing would be like, because I
Oh,
would
yes.
need that too. Because otherwise I'd just be like, "I like your book." You know? Like, I would have no chill,
Yeah.
and so I need a script in order to have chill.
But you know
Um,
what, though? You're right. We should try and do that. So, we should try and do that. Okay.
we were
Back to the
talking
book.
and I was like, "What?" I was like, "What were we talking about?" And then I realized I remembered Manifesting. I was like, "Oh my god, that was so long ago." The last thing that we talked about was the art and, like, how everyone looks different. It kinda
Speaking of art,
coincides with the w exactly. Look at her. That page, I was so hyped when I got to the plant zombies, I was like, "Okay, I'm locking in. Here we go." I texted you last night and I was like, this book is reminding me of something and I can't put my finger on it. It reminds me specifically them going into that little area and, like, finding the plant zombies in the church reminds me of and though I don't know if you've read the Walking Dead comics, but even in the show they do this. They come upon I don't even know what the place is called because it's been so long since I've read it slash watched it. But they come upon a church and there's, like, a preacher in there. There are I don't think there are zombies in the church, but the similarities of them coming upon this, like, location of safety in these woods and there being a church, that's what it reminded me of. But yeah, the us talking about the you saying that everybody looks different in it, that kinda coincides with the first thing that I wrote about that I liked, which is the stark contrast between Lewis and Clark is very interesting to me. Like, the scientific goofiness of Lewis, like, directly against the scary, almost scary, hardness of Clark works so well because I don't even wanna say they balance each other because I don't really think they balance each other. I think that it's, like, this really cool push and pull of, like, who is who is right, who is thinking, like, what whose plan is right, because they're so vastly different, like, wildly so. And it's just really interesting because they both are wild cards. Like, I never knew either of them was gonna do throughout these first 6 issues. And, I think that's a really cool trait to have in your 2 leads.
Agreed. Because there was a part in this where actually Lewis, I remember which one I was talking about. Lewis actually like wants to do some. He wants to get a sample of like the body or whatever, and he
Mhm,
like takes someone's musket and like literally just like stabs the zombie with it and tells Clark to get down, and Clark gets on all fours and like they trip this zombie, and I was just like, that was really cool. Something I would have never expected out of like a scientific kind of, like,
mhm.
guy, right? So that was kinda cool, and then, like, Clark hasn't really shown me any, like, softness. Like, I don't know if he has any softness. He's
Mhm.
all just very, very hard, which there's, like, there's a dream sequence. If you like dream sequences, there's a dream sequence.
There is a dream sequence. It's funny because my last note that I took is about the dream sequence and how it connects to the first note that I took because their dreams are vastly different. And I that's the thing that I had to Google about because in Lewis's dream, okay, context, they're fighting these, like, plant monsters at the end, and something happens and it puts them to sleep. It's, like, kind of killing them, and they go into dream states, and Lewis is dreaming about blissful sex in lots of different positions, but in his dream, Clark is naked and having sex as well, and I was like, "Huh? Is this gay? Is it gay, Bobby?" Like, that's how I felt. But Clark's dream is, like, him being attacked by, like, demonic Native Americans. And so, I do have a question about that, Marsha, someone who has read it. Is Clark racist? Like, is was that them telling us that the
I
villains of this book are
mean
Native Americans?
it's the time here, so I can't really say no. But to be honest,
Okay, period.
I don't remember. I've also only read the first 6 trades of this, and there's 8. So I actually haven't finished it, even though I talked so
Okay,
highly of it.
period.
But I don't know how it ends. If the ending sucks, sorry to anyone who wants to read all of it. But I mean, but like I wasn't everyone kind of racist in
Th
this time, right?
well, like, that's the
It's hard to like say no to that because there's lots of like hints at racism in this book.
yes, 100%.
Actually,
I think
sorry, there's not hints. They hit you
no,
over
go
the
ahead.
head. They hit you over the head with it.
Yeah, yeah, they do. Like, specifically the handling of Sacagawea, I was like, "Huh?" Like, when I was
Mhm.
reading we'll get into that. But, like, so when it showed him having that nightmare and how he was genuinely terrified of these Native Americans, I was like, "Is he terrified because they're demons? Is he terrified because they're Native Americans that are also demons?" And so, like, I understand that settlers back then were frightened of natives, but also, like, we know now and today that the natives were the victims of all of that. So I was like, oh, is this a story that we're going to tell where, like, is he going to go through a journey where he's like, oh, actually, these natives are not as scary as I thought they were? And I feel like probably there will be some of that, right? Especially since Sacagawea is going to join them at some point.
I'd say so. That would make sense, right? If you're showing that he's scared of Native Americans in the beginning, maybe one of the overarching arc is him accepting the Native Americans instead of realizing that they're the enemy. Because I think he's also a
Okay,
soldier,
period.
right? So he
Hmm.
really is kind of thinking like a soldier mentality, but also getting his information from the government. And we all know
Yes,
the
that
government's bad.
that is an incredible point. He is like the soldier's soldier. Like, the way he speaks sometimes sounds like ChatGPT. He just basically, like, repeats what the government has said to him. He's very just, like, to the point, no feelings, like, "We are hunting down these monsters because we are fighting for the country." Like, he does the same speech twice to the people that are with them. That's another thing, the people that are with them are convicts that are expendable who have no family just in case they die in monster attacks. And I thought it was a great choice, very interesting choice to have those guys realize that they're expendable
Mm.
because a lot of times you don't get any like dialogue or scenes humanizing these people, but I will say I also thought it was interesting that they tried to humanize like murderers, like the worst of the worst. Like the guy in the first issue who looks like a rat,
Yeah.
horrible human being, probably deserves to be killed by a buffalo minotaur.
It's
Yeah,
this guy.
that guy, so gross, so gross. The grossest of the gross. And I was like, I know you're trying to make me like him, but it is not working. He is awful. But it is kind of sad that how many times in like US history has that happened where they've put a group of convicts or whoever onto things because they can just die with no one worrying about them.
Or even with the, reward that if they do this, that they're free, right? Like,
Mhm.
that's, like, the driving factor for them is, like, they either get hanged or they can go free, and who wouldn't
Mhm.
try and take the free option every time?
That's true. That is true. With also, like, with the whole, like, never ever be at it again, it makes me wonder, would they really be free? Or is
Mm,
it like, "You're back and now we're still hanging you because you saw the minotaurs and the zombies."
and that's fair. I mean, that's not fair, but, I mean, yeah. But then but then I guess my rebuttal would be like, why would Lewis and Clark be able to stay alive if they also saw it? Because they work for the government? Is it like a government
Yeah, I think
conspiracy?
because they've proven that they are all in with the government.
Mm,
Lewis probably wouldn't tell anyone because he might lose his opportunity to get to study more things. Also, like I loved how studious he was. I loved his two separate journals. I love that we got to see all of the little details that he wrote. They also knew so much stuff. He knew so much stuff. Also, back to the guy that looks like a rat. Did he die and I missed it? Because
I
I feel
don't
like I didn't see him in the big battle in the last 2 issues.
I don't think everyone went, right? Did everyone
He
go?
was he on the boat? They might have left his ass on the boat.
I would've left his ass on the boat.
Yeah, after he tried to get away.
I actually don't know. Yeah, I didn't see him. Also, real fast, can we talk about the guy that that got killed because he got skunk sprayed?
Which one? Which
There
one?
there was one, he got skunk sprayed, so, like, it starts off here, I'll show everybody. So, like, he, like, fell right into the skunk, okay? And then you flip the page,
Yes.
and I was like, "Oh, that sucks." Not only are you getting sprayed, but you're getting sprayed with, like, the fungus.
The zombie skunk fungus.
The zombie skunk
That
fungus.
the way that I didn't even realize that that was like a fucking skunk though. I was no, I did not realize that was a skunk. I was like, "What do you mean sprayed with a skunk?" Yeah, that makes it so much worse because he did get brutally killed after that. That was sad. Like, I know it is what it is. I was just like, "Ah, damn, these poor dudes." Some of these dudes, I'm just like, "Oof." Just the idea of being on a supernatural monster hunt and not knowing that you're on a supernatural monster hunt and then the
That's
zombie
fair.
skunk sprays you and you get shot in the head. That sucks. That's rough.
What about
Um
the people that survived the zombie fungus? They're now on the ship with everyone
Yeah,
to go on this
yeah.
adventure.
Yeah, I wondered if that was gonna be a thing that, like, if the because they focused a lot on, like, the civilians in the town, which were I think there were 3
That's
that we
that's
saw.
that sounds right.
And they only like, they focused on this one a lot, and I was like, "Oh, is she gonna join the group?" And then she was on the boat at the end, and I was like, "Well, now I feel like I need to continue reading because, like, where is this gonna go?" It took turns I did not expect it to turn. I like that it's not following, like a path that we already know. That was one thing that I really liked about this, that I felt was strong, that there were a lot of good little twists in it, like, not, like, big reveal twists, but, like, they take different exits than I thought they would, and I really enjoyed that. The Minotaur plot.
Mhm.
How did you feel about the Minotaur plot?
I felt like it was very neat, actually.
Okay, okay.
I I had lots of questions about the Minotaurs that I was not satisfied by how short they were in the book for.
Mhm. They were scary as hell. So, like,
Yeah.
context for you guys, they show up to this place and they get attacked by this giant minotaur-like creature that has the top half of it, like the head of a buffalo, a human torso, and then like a horse body. And it's brutal and it's scary, and they kill one of them. They manage to kill one, but then they're attacked by like multiple of them and they run and find the settlement where the plant zombies are. You know what? Saying all that out loud, this book has a lot of stuff going on in it. And I think that's where the problem lies for me. Because I agree with you about the Minotaur plot, because I felt like it was a really good buildup. It had a very scary first encounter, but it fizzled immediately when the plant zombies were introduced and Sacagawea kills all the Minotaurs off panel.
Yeah.
In her introduction, we see her riding on with this horrible man, riding into this town with this horrible man being like, "We killed the buffalo minotaurs and took their pelts because we wanted these pelts." And like she did it basically by herself, but like you see one page of it at the end of an issue, like her flying into battle and another beautiful splash art page, let me say, it's gorgeous, but the minotaur plot is just over. And I was like, "What?" And we immediately, like, just focus everything on the zombie plot, and I was like I was let down because I was like, the Minotaur of it all could have been an epic battle. It could have been a whole 6 issues, but it got really complicated really fast, and I also, because of that, felt like it introduced so many characters at once for us to try to keep up with. I get wanting to try to give a bunch of different characters moments, but even though they look different, I could not tell you who anyone was, could not remember any of their names other than Lewis, Clark, and Sacagawea, and I didn't really care about anyone but Lewis and Clark. And that might be the point because a lot of the people are expendable, but we also didn't spend a lot of time with Lewis and Clark because we were focusing on so many other people and so many things. And I think that's my big issue with the book. Again, really liked it, but I was like, this could have been something that was like incredible to me.
Mhm.
And I'm sure the book like gets better as it goes. We know that I am notoriously hard on the beginning of books, like especially first trades. Watch our Grim issue if you want me to not be super, super nice about a book. That should have been great as well. But it's like I don't know. I did enjoy it, but those are my issues. Those are my issues with it because the Minotaur plot was unsatisfying, and then we dove into a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on all
So,
of
like,
that?
so I opened up with saying that, like, I remember liking this a lot more. And as we've been talking, you kind of have like, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I read it today at like 4 hours ago,
I read
and
most of it today. I read 2 issues last night and the rest today.
I read it in the dark. So some of the pages I wasn't able to see properly, but I remember liking it a lot more than I did the second time, and I think it's because some of the things that you hit on, like it felt very rushed, and then there was just so much going on that it was hard to like grasp where we're going. And I was really enthralled with the Minotaur plot. I wanted to see them try and take on the Minotaurs, and then like you said,
Mhm.
Sacagawea comes in and kills them off panel. And so that was frustrating. And, you're right. I actually don't know anyone else's name either, except for Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea. I think there is an African American man that I was going to try and remember his name, but I don't remember it. So it's fine. But I don't know. The art's really good. I remember the story being better in the next couple trades, but again, I can't trust my memory because I really liked this. I gave almost all of these issues the first time on Comic Geeks 5 stars. Then I had to go back through and fix it because, like, that is ridiculous. So
I I I'm glad that you're saying this though, because like I have thought about how a lot of the times when we read stuff out of the pod, I don't always read with a critical mind and I enjoy things a lot more. And I feel like if I had picked up this trade and just read it, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But when we read these things, because we know we got to talk about it in depth with each
mhm,
other, I really read through a critical lens and it's changed how I read books now a little bit sometimes, especially when it's for the pod. Like, so I 100% see you reading it the first time just for fun and enjoying it a lot more because it is fun. That's the
mhm,
thing, you guys. Like when we're hard on books, know that it's not always indicative of the fun factor. It's like as an example, a lot of people really enjoyed David Ayer's Suicide Squad, the original one, that original film, because it's a fun movie. Now, is it a bad movie critically, objectively? Pretty bad. It's a pretty bad, like plot structure, but the acting, the costume design, all of those things are great, so it makes for a fun experience. This book was a fun experience, but it just has some things that could have been better. I
Yeah.
will say though that I'm gonna continue reading it because 1, the art is phenomenal, and 2, the ideas that were planted throughout this plot that was a little rickety were strong enough that I was like, "I have to continue. I wanna keep going. I need to know what's going on, even if they're not gay." You know? Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, I like a tease as well, but it is good. Like, it's a good book.
There's actually a whole plot thread that just got dumped, by the way. You
Mhm.
remember the chick that jumped off the cliff?
Well, okay, hold on. You know what? You're about to piss me off because what you're right. You're so she was an infected plant thing,
I
but that
guess.
now that you've brought it up, it doesn't make any sense at all because this girl, when they get to this island, they see a naked woman on okay, never mind. You know what? I'm gonna finish this, but then there is something else that we gotta talk about. There is a naked woman on a cliff that everyone is like sexualizing, and then she jumps off the cliff and kills herself, and they go to find her body, and her body is like an imprint on the ground that's made of like fungus. And you can see where she was. But in the very next issue, when they are getting attacked by the zombies in the town, one of the survivors is like, the only way to kill them is with fire. Wait, you know what? I've said all this out loud and I'm about to look really stupid. And I want everyone who's listening to just love me through it because if they get hurt other than fire, they can actually repair themselves. So never mind, I'm no longer pissed off. But why was she there?
Yeah,
And
like,
where
what
was she?
yeah, like, is she the one that created the fungus? Is she the carrier that created the fungus, and so when she jumped off the cliff, she, like, infected the land? Was she the plant? Like, I don't these are questions that I don't have answers to, and so, like, I just felt like it was I don't understand the point of her jumping off the cliff.
Okay, so it's so interesting that you say, like, is she the carrier? When she jumped off, did she infect the land? Because I didn't even think of that, but I did have a feeling that she was way more important than she ended up being.
Mhm.
When I first saw her, I was like, this is like the spirit of the woods, or like the like a forest god or something like that, because she looked ethereal. She was also naked, and usually gods are naked, and so I was just like, "She's gonna be important," and then she literally was never like, you never saw her again.
Yeah.
Where did she go? If she did heal herself, where did she go?
That's what I'm saying,
Oh,
is she the big plant monster that they fight at the end? The big rose plant? Turn into
Poison
that?
Ivy Poison Ivy is the villain of this book, period. You know what? Also, dear listener, and you might be saying, "Well, they might talked about that in the next issues." No, they sailed away. They sailed away from this place and left it behind after burning it to the ground with Greek fire. I was like, "Period." You know what, you guys? Do all the fun things that you got. Pull out the Greek fire. That scene was actually really funny when they had the convicts looking through the things in the bottom and they found
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
wooden stakes. Yeah.
Why do we
The
have
humor in
those?
this was good. They're like, "Don't worry about that." And I was like, "Vampires, cool, I'm excited to see
Yeah.
vampires." But yeah, I didn't even think about that lost plot. I it was just messy in that way. Like, it was like he wrote himself into a Buffalo Minotaur-sized corner and said, "You know what? Let me bring in some plant zombies to wipe this shit out
And,
because it could have been so cool."
yeah. But,
That's it.
I maybe the 2nd volume is more cohesive? Maybe it's like the 1st season of Buffy right here, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And then you get to the 2nd season, it's like, "This shit's awesome."
Exactly. Yeah. And that happens so often in media. A lot of times I don't like a run until the 2nd trade. That's
Oh,
usually
that's
when
fair.
things have settled, you know? I mean,
Mhm.
the book was successful at an independent company, and it ran for 48 issues. Obviously, like, it gets good, or it gets better. It's already good, but like, you know, maybe it's more cohesive. But also, sometimes I just don't like books from Image.
That's
Like,
fair.
there's a good bit that I like from Invincible, but there's also a lot of Invincible that is not good to me, and I was like, "How did it make it past issue 12?" Like, I don't understand, specifically issue 12, read it, the first 12 issues, and you'll be like, "What is this?"
I have read the first 12 issues, but it's been a long time too. Maybe I'll have to reread that soon. Hmm.
It gets really good, but I also just feel like people like, I don't know, don't get me
I
started. Go ahead.
I remember when I read the compendium for the first time, I was like, "Cool, I'll read this and I'll go to bed." And then all of a sudden I was like 10 issues deep in this compendium and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, I have to go to fucking bed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was good because it was fun the first time, and maybe if I reread it again, it won't be as fun. I don't know. I'll find out.
I have a little hot take on that, and it might not even be a hot take. But so I read the first compendium on that RV trip that I took last year across the country,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and I read like the first 15 issues in like 2 hours. And it's because in those first 12 issues, there's not a lot of dialogue at all. There's not a lot of words at all.
There's no word because we
We always
know.
talk about this. The most popular books are the ones with the least amount of words.
Yeah, because you don't have to
Like,
read.
it's the truth. I will say, though, I do love that about Absolute Batman. I love that there are pages and pages of blocks of text in that sometimes because I'm like, "Good, you're making the boys read. You're helping their brains." Because and the girls. The younger generation, they don't get to read as much, like we did and like other generations have because things are a lot of books are now written. It's not their fault, let me say that. It's not the kids' fault. A lot of things that are released in bite-sized portions because we've been trained through social media to only wanna take in 30 seconds to 60 seconds at a time. That's why everything that we watch is on 2 times speed, you know? We've all been trained to want things fast and quick, and so it makes me sad because the ramifications are a lot less novels are being bought, and, like, the most popular comics are the ones with not really anything there. Visual art as a medium for storytelling is wonderful, but I do think it's important to read in all the ways.
Agreed. Agreed. I used to
Sorry,
get mad.
don't I got on my soapbox.
No, no, you're fine. I used to get mad at parents at working at the library who were like kids wanted to get comic books and or graphic novels or whatever, and their mom was like, "That isn't a book. Get a real book." And I'm like, "Bitch, it has words. At
Yeah,
least they want to read words." And actually, reading a comic book is harder than reading an actual book.
it is. You never know which way you're going. That
So,
is the truth. And also, comics are a great gateway into novels. So it's
mhm,
like, I don't understand parents that police what their kids are reading, unless, of course, it's like crazy shit. But like comics, hey, be happy that they're reading because listen, I know that your child is going to be different, but like a lot of the kids, like during COVID, did not read for 2 years, and now they don't read. And like you can also tell when they talk, and it just makes me sad. Like the whole country lost 2 years of education essentially.
yeah,
It's just crazy to think about. Did you have any more notes on this book?
I did not know.
My last gripe is, and you've already kind of touched on this a little bit, but the way that women were talked about in this book really bugged me. And the way that Sacagawea was used in this book really bugged me because historically, like when you hear about those two dudes, you also hear about her. Like you also hear about her. And so when she was revealed to kill all of these minotaurs, I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my god, she's gonna be such a badass." Then they don't let her speak. They have a man speak for her until she chooses to speak, which I was like, "Okay, I could see the justification here." But the man speaking for her was really gross and was also talking about how he fucked her and she was carrying his baby, and we don't know
He
if that's true or not. But he
he
also was just like selling her to Lewis and Clark
he
was the
said
vibe.
seed, by the way. He said seed, not
That okay, so that moment when he was like, "She's carrying my seed," but also when the fucking rat guy was talking about Sacagawea and was like, "I bet her cunny hairs are something," talking about her pubic hair? What? I was like, "Hey, so listen, I know that it's of the times. I know that men historically are the worst when it comes to women. But if you're writing a book about history and you're adding in magic, maybe you could subvert it a little bit and not have to write the most horrible things on the page. Maybe you can have Lewis not be a genius, but also a sexual deviant. And also, I mean, like, he's not a sexual deviant. All people are horny. That's what our biological function was created for. If you believe in that, but it's like it's what our biological functions. At the end of the day, we're meant to fuck. But to read it on the page in the way that it was at the expense of all the women characters, and there's only 2 in this book, 3 technically if you count Naked Plant Lady that crashes into the ground. But they were all sexual objects, and I was just like, you had the power, you had the keyboard, and you did that. So I didn't love that, Chris Dingus. I didn't love that, or whatever your name is.
That
But
wasn't but that wasn't the first time he had said cunny hairs were so fucking dumb. Sorry, that wasn't the first time he'd said it. He was talking about another lady, I don't remember who it was now, but talking about somebody else. Just like the way they were talking about the, the arch that they found. They were talking
yes.
about how, like, they tie their squaws to it or whatever, and I was like, "I'm sorry, what?"
Yeah.
It was gross.
Again, the reasoning of it is of the times is valid. Like, we both feel that way about it. I just felt like it was a little overkill. I just truly feel like it was a little overkill, and I hope that it's not as prevalent going forward. I fear it will be, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe it simmers down. Maybe he wanted it to be jarring. I will say, though, that even if it pissed me off, it was jarring and it caused a reaction, and I did like that because a lot of times when I'm reading, I don't feel anything. And I was like, "Oh, you're making me mad. You're making me hate somebody really fast. You're not making me like anybody necessarily, but you're making me hate some people." So I thought that was good. That was good, but ooh, cunny hairs was too far for me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it
So gross.
anymore.
It's such a gross or I just say the word.
Just,
I'd rather read that.
uh,
Honey, hairs
ugh.
is rough. Sorry, alright, I'm done saying it.
Cunny
Uh,
hairs, cunny hairs for the back, for the people in the back, cunny hairs. Those are basically all my notes. I mean, like, I had a lot of separate notes, but we kind of touched on everything. So we know everybody who's listening, still listening. We know what problems we had with it. We know what we liked. Now it's time for us to give it a star rating. Unless you have more thoughts before we do our star.
I do not have any more thoughts. We've touched on most of everything that I wanna talk about.
Okay. So for me,
This
it's a 3.5.
this page is gorgeous.
Yes.
There you go.
See, I mean, that's why I'm gonna keep reading it because the art is so freaking good, and I'm also interested to know about this weird ass dynamic between Lewis and Clark. That's why I gave it a 3.5 because, like, even though I had issues, it was still good. Like, it was
Mhm.
almost 4-star good. Yeah. I thought the Minotaur plot was so messy, and there was so much happening that it was really hard for me to take away anything from it of meaning. And so I feel like it will probably go up as I continue to read, but right now it's starting at a 3.5. 6 months of that would have been hard. I think I might
That's
have dropped
fair.
it,
That's fair.
you
That's
know?
fair.
It's so
I'll give you
different
that.
reading in a trade format.
That's true. Yeah, if I was reading this in singles, I probably would've dropped it too, actually. I'm thinking I'm gonna follow you, say 3.5. Like I said, when I first read it for fun the first time, I had it, like, at, like, a 4.5, but rereading it a little bit more critically and talking about kind of, like, where there's weaknesses, but there's also, like, good positives. I think a
Mhm.
3.5 is, like, a solid start and a solid rating
Mhm.
for this so far.
Yeah, and I do think it'll be fun to continue it. Like, we'll probably try to start it tonight because I finished it today and was like, "Well, I need to know. I'm mad, but I need to know." And I will also say this to if anyone's listening and this is your favorite book and you're mad, I will say that it's rare for me to immediately wanna read a second trade. Even with me being mad and the reasons why I wanna read it, like, usually I just don't read more.
Interesting.
So there is that. Do you have any pop culture pitches this week? Have you been watching, reading anything that we haven't already talked
Um
about?
Yes. Actually, Chris and I started watching, Critical Role: The Mighty Nine on Amazon Prime the other night because I wanted to watch it. I've seen, every episode of that campaign on YouTube, and they're like 4 hours plus. I don't know if you're familiar with Critical Role, but they're really
Mhm.
fucking long.
I tried and I quit. Could
That's
not
fair.
could not commit to that.
That's fair, and it's different from how it is obviously in their, like, live stream campaign, like, they have to take some liberties and, like, start it differently and stuff like that, but, like, the differences that they have going on are interesting. It seems like one of my favorite characters isn't gonna be in the group for a long ass time because she's, like, mind controlled by the big bad, and I don't know how to feel about it. So, we only watched, like, 2 episodes, and we were introduced to most of the cast. I think we're missing, like, 1 or 2 characters. But yeah, it's been pretty fun. If you like animation and you like D&D, if you like Baldur's Gate 3, but you want it in, like, an animated form with, like, cool voice acting and, like, super cool people and stuff and dick jokes, lots of dick jokes, watch Critical Role Mighty 9 on Amazon Prime. Season 1. There you go.
I'll have to give that a try. I forgot that there was an animated show because
There's
I love
2.
D&D.
There's 2. there's Vox Machina, which is their first campaign, and then Mighty Nine, which is their second campaign,
I did know that. I did know about Vox Machina. Forgot.
which is
Yeah,
also
I need
great.
to give that a try. Ashley Johnson, is she in both seasons? Is she the character
She
that
is.
is, like, being mind controlled? Okay.
She is.
So did you see the Ashley Johnson news that came out today?
No.
Okay,
Jackie
well,
Johnson.
so I don't have a pop culture pitch because I've been so busy and tired and burnt out on everything that I haven't really been watching anything or reading anything other than what we're doing for the pod and X-Men. And I'm not doing another pop culture picks on X-Men because I've done it so many times, you guys. But so this is going to go in place of that, me talking about this. It's just a little thing, but she did an interview where she talked about she used to be on Growing Pains back in the day, and she was really little. And somebody had sent in they filmed it first of all, they filmed it in front of a live studio audience. Someone had sent a letter in saying that they were gonna come in and kill random cast members, like, threatened them. And so they were, like, ready and prepared, but, clearly it was, like, late '80s, early '90s, something like that, and this guy got in. So at the end of every taping, they would the whole cast would, like, march through the audience and, like, meet people. And so Ashley Johnson is, like, how old at the time? 4, 5, 6? She's a little girl.
Really young, yes.
Yeah, little girl, and so they're walking through the line, and this man jumps out of the crowd, grabs her, and starts running. He did in fact have a gun. He tried to take her. Security eventually got him and, like, tackled him to the ground and wrangled her from his arms, but she was like and then they asked me, like, "Are you okay?" And she was just worried. She felt like she was gonna get in trouble because she was like, "I was such a well-mannered good little girl that he grabbed me and I was like, 'Who are you, sir? What is your name? I was very excited to meet you.'" Like, as this man is kidnapping her. And I read that today and I was like, "That's fucking crazy. That is fucking crazy." Because I was like that kid too. Like, I was very much like just tried to be perfect, follow all the rules because I was so scared of the rules. And I was like, tiny baby Ashley Johnson child actor was like, "Okay, kidnapper, what is your name?" And I just thought that was a fascinating story because I've never heard that before, and it's like, that shit's crazy. Walking the actors through the crowd on one of the most popular sitcoms of
That is
all
crazy.
time,
That is crazy.
insane,
Also,
insane. But yeah,
I love Growing Pains. I used to rush home from school when I was a kid so I could watch the reruns.
Baby Leo was on there.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
I
Remember and
used to
that guy Boner?
have yes.
Crazy his name was Boner.
Yeah.
As a child, I was like, "This is illegal." They're showing this on Fox Family.
I used to have a crush on Ben, which wasn't Kirk Cameron, it was the other one, the
The
younger
blonde one.
the blonde one. I had a
Mhm.
crush on Ben.
I'm pretty sure I did too, I'm not gonna lie. So, I would always watch it, Full House, and Step by Step. They would come back to back on Fox Family, which became ABC Family, by the way, for all of you people who do not know that, the lore between Fox Family, ABC Family, and Freeform.
Okay,
Those were the reruns for me.
knowing that you watched that channel, did you ever watch a show called Teen Wolf on Campus?
Why does that sound familiar? No, it a TV show that based on the movie?
No. It was kind of like it like, kind of, like, they took, like, inspiration from Teen Wolf.
Yes.
Yes!
Yeah, I saw this photo. Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so I had to ask because you watched that show because you watched the channel, and every time I ask somebody if they ever heard of this show, they're like, "No," and I'm like, "It existed. I swear to God it existed." So, thank you.
This is one of the craziest, like, blast from the past that I've ever seen. Like, I forgot that this existed. Brandon Quinn was the lead. This is wild. I watched it, and I watched the new Addams Family Adventure live action TV show
Mm-mm.
on there too. Oh my god, you
I
never
don't think I
watched
saw that.
that?
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
It was like a live action Addams Family show. They ended up doing like another straight to DVD movie after where they had Daryl Hannah play Morticia, but they still had the TV cast in it.
Interesting.
I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. There were a lot of weird shows on there. The one about the guy with no belly button,
Oh,
Kyle
Kyle
XY.
XY, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We had some good content growing up, actually. Thinking back, there was some good shit back in those days.
I got
Oh
canceled
wow.
sometimes.
Yeah,
Supernatural, no, Smallville, that was good. That lasted for a long time.
it did.
It's on WB, but, same thing.
They showed it on Fox Family though. They did
Oh,
do
did they?
reruns.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
4 PM. Thank you very much, 4 PM. That's how I watched
Charmed?
Smallville the first time.
Did you watch Charmed?
Charmed. Oh, I did watch Charmed. I loved Charmed. Listen,
I remember I was in 3rd grade at my best friend's house. She's still my best friend to this day, but we live states apart, obviously, and she's watching Charmed, and I was like, "I don't know what this is, but, like, I'm here for this, here for this." And so, like, I was like, "What is this show called? When does it come on?" She was like, "Sundays at 7." Cool. So, I started watching it, my mom came in one day, and I was watching it, and she goes, "What the hell are you watching? Why are you watching witches? And why are you watching UP?" Just like, "Because it's good." She's like, "You can't watch that." So, I had to wait a couple more years to watch it, but
I could just imagine you being like, "I'm a preteen now. I can watch things." Like, that is the energy I feel like I would have had my parents not or had my parents, like, tried to stop me from watching things. The only thing they ever wanted my mom ever tried to stop me from watching was Harry Potter and Power Rangers because there were demons in those. But she let me watch Buffy. We watched it as a family every week. Looking back, I'm like, "Christy, what were you doing? Christy,
that's
don't. What's
hilarious.
going on?"
Hilarious.
Uh, but Charmed, oh my god, I loved Charmed. I when Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know the lore of Charmed, I'm gonna do this really, really quickly. It starred 3 women. 2 of them were really, really popular on the WB back in the day in the Aaron Spelling world. One was Shannon Doherty, and she was from Beverly Hills 90210. She played Brenda. She was like the teen star of the late 80s, early 90s. And then there was Alyssa Milano, who was the other like poster teen girl from Who's the Boss. So they get this show, and because they're both it girls, they hated each other. Hated each other so much. They have to play sisters who love each other. They let them be mean to each other on the show. They were like, we'll work through it, but they loved each other. In real life, no, 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 no. Alyssa Milano goes to Aaron Spelling, who is the showrunner or he's the company head, and she's really good friends with Tori Spelling, his daughter. And he decides that if they can't work it out, he's gonna fire Shannon Doherty. They cannot work it out. So they kill off the lead of the show, Shannon Doherty. She's the oldest sister, Prue. They kill her off in the season 3 finale. And then when season 4 starts, they bring on Rose McGowan to replace her because Alyssa Milano and Shannon Doherty could not get along. The pain I felt watching Prue, the best sister, die. Okay, listen, listen. I love
Okay,
Piper too.
that's
I
fine.
love
Okay,
Piper too.
okay, okay.
Piper becomes my favorite after Prue left, but Prue just had this edge to her that I loved, and
That's fair.
I thought they all worked together really well. Paige comes in and she's like, "I have big boobies and I don't know who I am." Like, that was it. They put her in tube tops. Paige does become a great character as the show goes on, and I will say I did love the addition by the end.
The
All the
way
I'm sorry I gave y'all so much drama just now. It's in the back of my mind all the time.
the way they brought her in though was like her mother it was like her mom's watcher and they had like an affair and I was like, "What is happening?" Like it was like the
Mhm.
craziest way to bring in a character because you like Charmed is about 3 sisters. So like and there was a 4th sister they didn't know about and now we're gonna bring her in because we had to kill off Shannon Doherty? Ridiculous.
Mm-mm.
Anyway,
Absolutely ridiculous, and you could tell it was hard for the writers, like, that shit but also, it kinda does fit in with the world because you have to just suspend disbelief so much when you're watching that show. As an
that's
adult
true.
now, I'll watch it every now and then, and I'm like, "Oof, we were roughing it in the 2000s." Even with Buffy, we were roughing it. I feel like Buffy handles things a little bit better than Charmed did, but I do love Charmed deeply. Oh, I miss TV like that. We used to have crazy shows just full of magic and, like, I don't know, a lot of practical effects when they freeze people in the show when time stops. For any Spotify listeners, click on the app where you can watch the video of this and watch us do the magic. Charmed, man. I used to have the complete series and it was in the book, and then I
Oh,
sold it.
that's fun. That's fun.
I regret it. I think about it sometimes.
I'm sure you can find it.
Um,
I'm sure
I'm
it's
sure I
it's
can.
around.
I'll go to Second and Charles, McKay, Amazon. Oh man, Charmed.
It's probably cheaper on Amazon.
It probably is way cheaper on
Damn
Amazon.
billionaires. What?
Also, the last thing before we wrap this up. Last week, our pop culture pitches, we had them. I can't even remember what they were,
It
but
was
know that
Bluey.
the episode well, it started with something else. and then
Oh,
you brought up Bluey, and then we spent y'all, I'm not even kidding, we spent, like, 10 minutes talking about Bluey, and I was crying, like, vehemently crying. Like, you could it's so f I'm so glad the episode actually couldn't come out because I even said to Marsh, I was like, "This is embarrassing," because I just was, like, red-faced, sobbing about Bluey.
Bluey is
So,
sad,
it is
but
so sad
happy.
and
It's
so
really weird.
good.
It's really weird.
Yeah, and also your dogs can watch it as well as your kids. So, like, because it's the color palette is something that dogs can see. So, all of that to say, I felt like it was our best pop culture pitch yet because when Marsh brought it up, I don't think she realized how passionate we both were gonna end up being about Bluey, and I was like, "This is really good content for Bluey." Watch
Yeah.
Bluey if you just want a 10 something that's 10 minutes that's gonna make you feel a lot of feelings, watch Bluey. That's my pop culture pitch. Do you have anything else to say before we end the pod?
I do not.
Same time next week,
Same bat time, same bat channel.
watch
S
Bluey.
Bluey's so good, please watch it. It really is. But it will hit you in your feelers, especially if you're a parent,
Yes.
or a dog
Yes.
parent, or a cat parent,
Or
whatever kind of
or
parent,
just a person. If
or
you're
just a
alone,
person.
if you're just alone, just still watch it.
If you're a person
I'll
with
end it there.
feelings,
If you're alone, watch Bluey. This
let's
is not
give
a bit.